Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People's Show. Check the Pulse of Nebraska Nation, brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. Now, the big overarching question that I have about Scott Frost, this coaching staff, this football program going forward into the 2022 football season is, can they learn how to win? We've proven we can be close. We've proven we can compete with everybody, and we've proven we can lose to anybody. Unfortunately, I've got some stats here. Some of them might be depressing. Some of them might pique your interest. I thought some of them were pretty interesting. This isn't about positivity or negativity. This is about honesty and me trying to have some objectivity. So here are some of these stats. Now, you may have seen some of these, okay, that I've written down here. Now, Nebraska scored in 9 Big Ten games this year, 239 points, gave up exactly 239 points, which is crazy, especially considering we went 1-8. Now, overall throughout the season, we actually outscored our opponents this year. Okay, we are 3-9 as an overall record. As I'm sure you know, we scored 335 points and gave up 272 points. We not drastically, but definitely outscored our opponents, yet we're 6 games under 500. That is crazy to me. All right, here are some of the not so fun stats, but they are what they are. Facts don't care about your feelings. Nebraska is now 1-9 in its last 10 games against Power 5 opponents. Only Vanderbilt, 0-10, is worse among Power 5 teams. Now, we did lose to 5 10-plus win teams this year and 3 8-win teams. So it wasn't exactly an easy schedule, if you will. And going into the Iowa game, I shared some of these stats on my Carriker Live show, but I want to share them again here on my Carriker Chronicles show. Going into the Iowa game, all right, Nebraska had outgained its opponents by 541 yards. Iowa had been outgained by 253 yards. Obviously, the records are drastically different. Okay. Did you know that when we were up 21-6 in that game versus Iowa, keep in mind, Scott Frost is 0-3, okay, versus Iowa at that point. Obviously, he's 0-4 now, but at that point, when we were up 21-6, we'd actually outscored Iowa. Obviously, Iowa outscored us 22-0 the rest of the way, and that's no longer the case. But it's crazy to me that you'd be 0-3 and ahead in the game, talking about Scott Frost's record versus Iowa, be ahead in the game and actually outscore that particular opponent, even though Scott Frost has never actually beaten them. You probably are aware of this. Scott Frost's record is 15-29 throughout his career so far, 10-25 in the Big Ten Conference. Okay, Frost's record versus FBS teams with winning records. All right, 2021, 0-7, 2020, 0-3, 2019, 0-5, 2018, 2-6. Again, I don't share any of these with a great big smile on my face. But what's interesting is what I'll get to here in a minute. Okay, versus Big Ten West opponents, we're 6-19. All right, versus Power 5 teams, we're 10-28. Versus ranked teams, we're 0-14. And one-score games, we are 5-20. Versus teams with winning records, 3-22. Okay, I didn't say any of that with any sort of joy at all or malice. Just is what it is. Here's what's interesting to me. All right, Scott Frost's record is 15-29 in 44 games, right, throughout his first 4 years here. He has a +1 scoring differential in those 44 games. I went through and tallied it up. Through 4 years and a record of 15-29, our opponents have scored 1,215 points against us. Scott Frost's offense has scored 1,216 points. We've actually outscored our opponents. How in the blue hell is that possible? All right, so here's the deal. So, just a reminder in case you forgot. Scott Frost is the first person, the only person in college football history to go undefeated as a player and a coach. You probably remember that from when he was hired. Okay, he took a defeated 0-12 UCF team to 2 years later, okay, an undefeated team. All right, never been done that quickly before. Now, again, I'm looking at both sides of the coin here. In his 6 seasons as a head coach, he actually has 5 losing seasons. All right, the most difficult thing is learning how to win. You can phrase it as getting over the hump, whatever the case may be. I say learning how to win because we've proven we could be in games. Now, when you look at Scott Frost's career as a player, he had a lot of success, did a lot of things right. He had one thing going for him. He had the greatest coach in the history of college football. Okay, man, I wish I could have played for Coach Osborne. He also had 5 All-Americans surrounding him. 2 of those guys were first-round draft picks. Unfortunately, and this isn't a shot at Scott, it just is what it is. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that right here, right now. Not that he doesn't have talent, but he doesn't have 5 All-Americans and 2 future first-round draft picks just walking around that locker room that can help him out right now. Okay, not a shot at him, but this starts and ends with Frost. It's all on him. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. Learning how to win. Okay? Some people learn how to do it. The majority don't. But a lot of people who have success have a hard time getting those wins. And just some of the examples that popped into my head randomly. Okay, the Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls in the 90s. Okay, never quite won. No team's ever gone to 4 straight. No team's ever gone to 4 straight without winning. And there's a lot of players on that team that were way better NFL players than I was. Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas. Talk about Jim Talley, Bruce Smith, Andre Reed. I believe Marv Levy was the coach. I hope I'm saying that name right. You look at Coach Osborne, the greatest college football coach of all time. It was 6 years of heartbreak before he finally beat Oklahoma. We're heading into year 5 with Scott Frost. Is year 5 the year we start to get over the hump or learn how to win, so to speak? And I wonder if Coach Frost can do what Coach Harbaugh did at Michigan. Going back to his alma mater, and of course he had more success his first few seasons than Scott has. But coming into this season, they changed some things on Coach Harbaugh's contract. Sound familiar? He brought in 6 new assistants. Sound familiar? Frost is going to bring in some new assistants. And look at what Coach Harbaugh was able to do with Michigan. Now, I don't know if we're going to go 11-1 and be number 2 in the country next year, but can Coach Frost get these guys? We're in close games against highly ranked teams. Can he get them to the point where they learn how to win? It starts and ends with Frost. I'll bleed Husker red. God, that's what I'm rooting for. That's on my mind. Let me know what your thoughts are. To the Birds. Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.